Welcome to Sea of Thieves, an online game that's ever expanding and ever changing, where the world is your oyster. As of late, Sea of Thieves have been retweaking and rebalancing guns to introduce the new grapple hook and already established throwing knives in the world. These two new weapons are the first additions to the actual game we've had as far as equipable weapons go, and it seems the main intent for Rare is to change what we already know and give us some new tools to play with. Whether or not that's good or bad is completely up to personal opinion. Regardless of that though, we're going to talk about what's new and the new meta in Sea of Thieves. Now, little disclaimer here, the game is ever changing, which means this video could be outdated. If that is the case, there'll be a comment down below in the comment section, or there'll be a new video on my channel, so feel free to keep an eye out for that. And subscribe to the channel if you do want to see videos like this when they do get released. So, as I mentioned, they've added the throwing knives into the game, which sorts as a secondary melee weapon that also has a long range and stab feature. This is really versatile in any situation. And of course, they've added a grappling gun, or adding at the time of this video, which changes the way you move in the game. It's probably better to look at this grappling gun as a movement enhancement as opposed to a new weapon. As you'll find, getting loot and moving around ships is a way more effective way of using this grapple gun. In addition to this, old weapons have been changed and put to what is possibly their final form. The main nerf that we've seen, which I believe was the staple gun for everyone in Sea of Thieves, is the blunderbuss. The gun has been nerfed so much now that you will not be able to achieve a kill by a single one-shot blunder and an additional knockback pellet to an enemy. Meaning a literal sense to kill someone with a blunderbuss, it takes one shot where all the pellets hit and one shot where at least two of the pellets hit, effectively making no weapon in Sea of Thieves a one-shot kill, which you could argue that is better for the balancing of the game. But you could also argue that they've taken away a staple and ruined the gunplay. On top of that, the throwing knives that were recently added have now gone to their final form, as the hitbox is now a little bit smaller or accurate to what it should be, and the throwing knife speed has been drastically increased, so much so that now a throwing knife is the fastest way to kill an enemy, regardless of any combination. As the speed it takes to defeat an enemy with two throws is greatly outweighing the risk and reward of using two weapons. However, that's not to say the use of two weapons without a throwing knife is pointless, because there are effective uses of that too. There is now an increased focus on speed and maneuverability within Sea of Thieves, as you are now able to sprint with single hand item loot, excluding some of the higher valuable stuff. And of course, as aforementioned, the grappling hook, which changes the way boarding, grabbing loot, and escaping is done. So, gone are the days where the Eye of Reach and blunderbuss were the main guns of choice. We're now looking at a world where it's possible the throwing knives could be the main meta gun, or maybe even just simply the Eye of Reach on its own. However, as this is an open world sandbox game and people's playstyles are different, that's not to say this is the only right option. I'm just saying that from a point of what I've observed while testing these in custom servers and additionally playing Sea of Thieves since release. Now, although what I'm about to say is just my opinion, it's worth mentioning this is an open discussion, and you guys should definitely head below in the comments and let me know what you think the new meta for Sea of Thieves is, because honestly, there is no wrong answer. Personally, I'm going to find for ship defense, the blunderbuss and Eye of Reach will still remain the primary choice of weapons, maybe even being able to switch out the Eye of Reach for a throwing knife, while PvP could see something along the lines of a throwing knife and Eye of Reach, or even Eye of Reach and flintlock. However, with the grapple gun being added, we could totally find the new meta for boarding being a throwing knife and grappling gun combo. But only time will tell whether or not that is the case. It's worth mentioning though that regardless of what the new meta is, the direction of Sea of Thieves has completely changed, and the meta without a doubt has now officially been changed, with no chance of it going back to what it was and what we were used to. With that being said though, let me know what you are looking forward to and what your new weapon combo is going to be down in the comments. And hey, leave a like on the video if you so desire. With that being said, I'm going to get out of here. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye for now.